Path of Exile is a game I've been playing for an obscenely long time now. It's a game of unbelievable complexity and frustration, the kind of game you would play if you really have a high tolerance for frustration and a lot of free time. This is a game you could full well play for 100 hours and not even begin to really understand what's going on, either with its systems or its stats or the end game. It's not the kind of game you can just dip your toes in. This is 1,000 hours or zero kind of experience, and that's just the way it is. The game is entirely free to play, but that's a little misleading since you definitely want to buy more stash tabs if you don't want to be juggling items every 5 minutes. And bear in mind, you will look like a hobo pretty much the entire game if you're not willing to buy some skins. The real standout quality of Path of Exile is its complexity, and my god is it complex. If you're used to a simpler game where you just level up and stats and boosts happen automatically, this might be a real shocker for you. You will be jumping straight into the deep end, because leveling up in Path of Exile is practically a game in and of itself. I would highly recommend you both get a guide and download a third-party app to even begin leveling up. Even if you're the type of player who likes to come up with your own builds and experiment on your own, use a guide, please. I'm imploring you. Use a guide. You'll have a much better time starting out. Another thing you need to understand about Path of Exile is that you will die a lot. In another game, misreading a single line of text or getting a good amount but not quite the maximum amount of fire resistance wouldn't be a big deal. But in this game, it is a death sentence. Anything and everything can and will kill you in this game, be it fire, ice, lightning, poison, bleeding, or good old-fashioned blunt trauma. However, if you're patient and you're willing to grind it out, you can eventually get your hands on some good, high-quality gear that will boost your defenses to the point that you can stand unscathed in the midst of it all without worrying. Mostly. Until something random kills you anyway. Path of Exile does have a hardcore option as well, where you have one life, and when you die, you die. But unless you're a god of gaming who lives next door to the servers, I really wouldn't recommend it. Loot in this game can be a real mixed bag, if that bag had one valuable item in it and 999 pieces of junk. There's a lot of randomness with the loot, and there's not necessarily any correlation between how challenging a fight is and how rewarding it is. There's nothing quite like the feeling of spending 5 minutes whittling down a brutal enemy, only to get rewarded with a stack of sharpening stones for the umpteenth time. Should you play it? I don't know. It has its ups and downs, and on the whole, it's a pretty niche game, but if anything I've said appealed to you, yeah, give it a shot. You might have some fun. Alright, that's all I got.